So hey guys, this is Ayush and I'm back with another great tutorial. And in this tutorial, what I'm going to do is that I'll make a project using a Naïve base. Let's say that will be the classification project, and we'll be implementing that classification into a Naïve base algorithm. Okay, this will be the very simple project, and in further tutorials I'll bring you up more and more advanced topics projects. Okay, so in this we'll actually get intuition about how actually we implement Naïve base into the scikit-learn library. As I have already talked about the kind of thing that mathematical equations of the Naïve base algorithm. Okay, so we will not implement it from very scratch, as there is always a library to do that. Okay, so now first of all, here I have the problem statement is that we have to predict whether the person will purchase the iPhone or not, basis on the three features: gender, salary, and age. Okay, well, we'll take a look at the data set just in a second. So now I have divided into 7 parts. I will not do data analysis in this video. I'll be giving the homework to you to do the data analysis of this data set. Okay, so first of all, let's import all the libraries and let's load the data set. So first of all, let's import the necessary libraries, that is import NumPy. So first of all, let me give the space for you all. Yeah, I think you all are able to see, and if not, let me zoom. Okay, I think this will be very clear to you. Okay, this will be very clear to you. So import NumPy as np, and then we have pandas as pd, because it is used for this working with the data, working with data, and the NumPy used for the scientific computation, for mathematically or scientific computation. Okay, so this is the necessary library that we are going to use. Okay, now let's load the data set. So the data set will be in the description down box below. Please download it from there, and let's do the project as I'm doing. Okay, so let's name the data, or the project data equals to the pd.read.csv, and my file is .csv, so that's why pd is the alias of pandas and then read CSV. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is that the file is in my own, or this is my folder in the directory this only. Okay, so the file name is the iPhone purchase records.csv. Okay, now if I take a look at this data, so what it will look, oops, at the data. So yeah, here we have gender, age, and salary, and basis on gender, age, and salary, what we'll do, we will predict whether the person will purchase the iPhone or not. So if the person does not purchase the iPhone, we'll take it as 0, and if the person purchases the iPhone, we'll take it as a 1. Okay, so for that we are going to use the Naïve base algorithm. Okay, so now we have loaded the data set. Now let's divide the data set into X and Y, and in an array. So first of all, for doing that X, what I'll do, X equals to data dot I'll log and -1, because I have to leave that last, because I don't want to purchase iPhone values. And if I take a look at the X, this will something like this, and we'll encode this male and female just in a second about what I'm going to talk about. Now we have our X. Now let's take a look at the Y data, which is the data that we have the variable where our data is stored. I'll log. We want only third column. It simply means 0, 1, 2, and 3 of this data set. Dot values. It's also a data set. Now, if I take a look at the y, this will be something like 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay, this is the very simple thing. Now, it's always a good practice. It's always a good practice to just take a look at the shape. So what I'm going to do is that I will print the shape of the particularly x and the y. Okay, so for x, so before going on to the x, let's take a look at the data shape that we have data. Okay, this data shape. So the data shape is something called format. It's always a good practice because I like this kind of format. Okay, and you can simply tell that a data dot shape. Okay, shape. Now for x shape, so the shape of x is, let's dot format x dot shape. Okay, and then we have for y shape, we have again the shape of y is, we have favorite dot format y dot shape. Okay, now let's run this. We have the following. The data shape is that we have 400 rows in the data and the 4 columns. And if I take a look at the x shape, we have 400 rows, but we have 3 columns. And in the shape of y, we have 400 rows and only the first column, that we have only the purchase iPhone and not. Okay, so these are some kind of details, so always a good practice to take a look at that. Now we have loaded a data set, divided that. Now I've just shown you that here x, it is in here male, female, we don't want it. If we proceed with this, it will give an error. So what I'm going to do is that I will just encode male and female into 0 and 1 binary form, or into numbers. So what I'm going to do is that I'll just import from sklearn. There is a label encoder that will encode the string to a binary form. Okay, so for that, let's take a look at sklearn.preprocessing. It's a part of the preprocessing the data. And then what we'll do is that import the label encoder. There is also binary, something like a label binarizer, but we'll go with label encoder. And then what we'll do, we will instantiate this encoder so that we can call this encoder and then use it further. Encoder equals to the label encoder. Now we have that kind of thing. Now what I'm going to do is x comma 0 equals to the encoder that fit transform x 0. I think I'm correct. Yeah, I'm correct. Then I will run this. Okay, so what we have done is that we have 1, 1, 0. If you take a look at this, we have encoded our this into a 1, 0 format. Now one more thing that I want to do is that I'm just going to convert the whole x data type into a float data type. Okay, so for that I will what I'll do, np.vstack x np.vstack x and as type float. np.float. I think it's correct. Okay, it's not correct. Okay, so it should be np. No, why I'm written n. Let's run this, and yeah, I think we are correct and we are good to go. Yeah, okay. So we have x and we have already transformed the whole. This is for this one is what we have done. We have simply just converted the whole data type into a float data type. It doesn't matter, but specifically you would go with this. Okay, now I think now we have encoded step number 2. Step number 2 is also completed. Now let's go on to the splitting the data. I have talked about in some section, I don't know about it, in our previous, I think is best practice or machine learning section, about the dividing the data set into training and testing sets and the cross-validation set. But now we're not going to go with the cross-validation sets. Either we'll go with the training and testing sets. For that, for dividing the data, we first will go from, there is a sklearn. We will import the train test splits from the sklearn, from sklearn. And previously, because when I was beginner, and that kind of cross validation, that was known as cross validation, but now it is removed. It is instead of model selection. Okay, so model selection, what I'll do, I will import the train test split, and I will make 4 variables: xtrain, xtest, ytrain, and ytest, and divide them into categorical and divide the data. So for that, xtrain. And then we have xtest, and then we have ytrain, and then we have our favorite ytest. Okay, now what we'll do, we'll call the function train test and split, and then we'll provide x comma y, and then test size would be something like 0.3. It means 30% is typically, and the random state, so that our value does not change. So I will name it as a random state, state stat equals to 0. I think it's all done. Okay, so we have splits the data. So we have done the step number 3. Now it's time for go to the feature scaling. It means that I have made you understand about the feature scaling. It simply means that we have to make or pull out all the features onto the same scale. We have to talk about the standardization and mean normalization. If you're not familiar with that, please check out my feature scaling video. Okay, so first again you make use of from sklearn library, from sklearn.preprocessing. It is also a part of preprocessing the data. Then what I'll do, I will import the kind of the standard scalar. Okay, and then what we'll do is scalar, instantiate the standard scalar, and then scalar. Okay, so now we have instantiated. Now it's time for taking a look. Let's take x. So xtest. First we'll go with xtrain, and then what we'll do, we'll scalar, we have instantiated dot fit transfer, and then for xtrain. Okay, before fitting it to the model. Okay, and if we have xtest equals to the scalar dot transfer, and this will use transfer because of the testing sets. Okay, xtest. I think, okay, when I run this, let's get an error. Yeah, we don't get an error. Okay, so let's take a break, just speaking all the time, and okay, so we are done till now. Very good thing here. Let me check. Yeah, so we have feature scale. Now we have only 3 steps left. Okay, so till now we have loaded a data set. We have converted the gender into the number. Okay, in the categorical form, and then we have split the data set into training and testing sets, and then we have done a feature scaling or mean normalization, so that all the features come onto the same scale. Okay, now let's fit. Now what we'll do, I'm going to fit the Naïve base classifier. Okay, this is the thing. Okay, so after doing this project, I think we'll be getting chocolates from my boss. Okay, just leave the comment below or and press the like button and leave the comment below so that you got the chocolates or not. If not, then you have to work hard. Okay, so now we have our fitting the Naïve base classifier. So what we'll do, we'll fit the Naïve base classifier from sklearn. Oops. From where is sklearn? Oops. Yeah, here is sklearn. Sklearn is okay. So Naïve. Okay, NAI. Oops, spelling is wrong. Naïve base import, because Naïve base has the three types: Bernoulli Naïve base, multinomial Naïve base, and Gaussian Naïve base. And this will make use of Gaussian Naïve base because it's a numeric Gaussian Naïve base. Now what I'll do, Naïve. Okay, so now let's make it instantiate the Gaussian. Sorry, what I have to 0. Okay, so we have an instantiate Naïve. Now let's fit Naïve.fit onto the training and a y train. So Naïve dot fit. I will specifically for x train and y train, x train, comma y train. Okay, I think I will get an error. Wow, not got an error. Okay, so we have trained our model. Okay, now I think it's the time of predictions. Yeah, it's time for prediction. Now we have done till now too much coding. Now let's predict it. So, and the x test, so what I'll do, y pred, it's a y prediction that we'll use in our times of making the matrices, or confusion matrix. Okay, so that we'll take a look at just in a second. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll predict we have our model Naïve. This is our model, and what we'll do is that Naïve dot predict. Naïve dot predict, and what onto the x test, and what it'll do, it will predict the y pred. Now let's do something kind of mundane time things. Okay, so it predicts the x test 0 0. It gives out the output. Okay, now we have y prediction that we have predicted. Now let's take some of the accuracy of this model. How good is the model is. We'll take a look at the confusion matrix and the precision and the recall. Again, we're not going to implement from very scratch, that kind of thing. There's always a scikit-learn library in Python, so it will help us to do this kind of things. Okay, so now what I'll do is that I will simply from sklearn, just drink your water because I'm kind of continuously speaking, from sklearn dot matrix import from sklearn.matrices. What I'll import is that confusion matrix. Okay, from confusion matrix. Yeah, confusion matrix, I think so. Yeah, so what I'll do, I will print the confusion matrix is equals to the, let's say, confusion matrix of x test and y test. No, why I written that? Y test and y prediction. So let's take a look. Yeah, this is the confusion matrix. So let's, you can take a look at that. I have already taken a look. Okay, so now it's time for checking the accuracy of our model. So for checking the accuracy of our model, again, I want to do check the accuracy of our model. Okay, I think when I type my keyboard, you might be listening about the typings because my keyboard is a little bit tired to type so much at providing force onto that, then it is going to rhythm. Okay, so don't worry about it. Don't be distracted by that. Okay, so what we'll do, we will print the accuracy score. I'm just talking to you. Accuracy. What is this, bro? Accuracy score. I think the spelling of accuracy is correct. Yeah, I have to get Grammarly just now. But Grammarly doesn't work in code because I've seen this doesn't work in code. Okay, and if it is going to work in code, this will a lot of error in my spellings. No, my spelling is good. I'm just joking. Okay, so now let's give it a comma and let's write this as the accuracy score matrix dot. Sorry, what I had written here. Let's import the matrix score accuracy, then let's import, just copying and pasting, nothing more. So import the accuracy score, and what I'll do, accuracy score, and then I will again pass the void test, and please God, please, I want good accuracy score. Wow, we got 90%. Hey, see, this is something out of accuracy I like. I something got a 40%, and then I have to delete all the models and then try again with different algorithms. But I think that 90 is a good start for you. Okay, and if we get on the deep learning, we'll get to know what we'll increase this accuracy a little bit, and always it is always a good to practice increasing and decreasing accuracy score. Okay, so don't worry about it. If you haven't got 90, you can get, just to practice these projects. Okay, and one more thing, just go on to Kaggle and just pick up one data set of whatever you like. I think the algorithm, linear regression, logistics, support automation, and Naïve, and just take a look at that data set and then try to implement this kind of algorithms. And I want you to practice each and every algorithm from very scratch so that you can get better intuition about what I'm going to say here. Okay, so we have our accuracy score. Now it's time for taking out the precision and the recall. So let's again copy this thing and paste it here. Precision score, and let's recall score. Okay, I think this should not give us an error. Yeah, this should not give an error. Now what I'll do, I will print the precision score, PRECISION, because I have used to confuse and precision spelling, so that's why I have to just be careful in that. Okay, so what I'll do, I will print the precision score by the y test again, y test and y prediction, because when y prediction we have predicted the x test. Okay, just one more thing I have to do for the kind of the recall score. Recall score consumes recall, yeah. So I will put it on y test and the y prediction. Just run this. Yeah, so we have got this 0.91, 0.80. This is the precision recall. Okay, so we have completed all the 7 steps that I had just mentioned. Okay, so congratulations, completing one more project in this deep machine learning course. And yeah, we have done using a Naïve algorithm. Okay, so I think that you got better intuition about how Naïve work. And yes, the homework is, I had not done that kind of data analysis, so I'm going to give you the homework just now, so that you can practice. Just write homework. Yeah, so the homework for you is that just do data analysis on this data set do data analysis and visualization using Seaborn and Matplotlib. Okay, and send it and give it a comment below, and by giving a drive link, visualization. Okay, I want this because just do data analysis and visualization of this data set as your task as a data scientist. Okay, so I think that's already 25 minutes and I have to say goodbye to you, and I'll meet you in the next video. And yes, if you like this video, please like the button in the, just like the video, and if not, you can also dislike the video if you not understand, and please the feedback in the comment down box below. And also be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel, press the notification bell so that I can get motivated and make more amazing content. And also, which courses do you want? Please comment down below. I'm just planning for preparing a new course. So thank you for watching this video. I'll catching up in the next video. Till then, bye bye.